When Barack Obama and Donald Trump came face to face on live television, one of the most striking takeaways was the undeniable contrast in their leadership styles. Obama, throughout his political career, has been known for his calm demeanor, measured tone, and ability to remain composed under pressure. He carries a style that often emphasizes intellect, patience, and an appeal to unity even in the face of provocation. Trump, on the other hand, has consistently embodied a confrontational, combative, and highly assertive approach to leadership. His political persona thrives on bold statements, direct challenges, and the willingness to break norms in pursuit of dominance. Seeing these two vastly different styles collide in real time was not only a reflection of who they are as individuals, but also a clear demonstration of how contrasting approaches to leadership can resonate with audiences in profoundly different ways. Obama's composure on live television is not accidental, but the result of years of deliberate discipline. He projects confidence through steadiness, choosing his words carefully and ensuring his delivery reflects thoughtfulness. When confronted with aggressive language or personal attacks, he rarely resorts to the same tactics, preferring instead to pivot the discussion toward broader principles or the bigger picture. This measured style makes him appear unshaken and gives the impression of control, which strengthens his credibility. For viewers, this kind of restraint often reads as strength, suggesting that he can handle both political opponents and global crises without losing sight of his responsibilities. In moments of tension, his style appeals to those who value rationality, diplomacy, and the ability to keep emotions in check. Trump's leadership, in stark contrast, thrives on energy, unpredictability, and confrontation. His communication style is designed to stir strong emotions, whether admiration from his supporters or outrage from his critics. He leans into directness, using blunt language, personal attacks, and rhetorical flourishes to dominate the conversation. This approach works to his advantage in capturing attention, as his words often spark headlines and create viral moments that keep him at the center of political discourse. His confrontational style signals to his supporters that he is willing to fight on their behalf, refusing to conform to traditional standards of political decorum. In this sense, Trump's style is built on projecting strength through aggression, showing that he is unafraid to challenge anyone, regardless of their stature. The clash between Obama and Trump on live television made these differences unmistakable. Obama's calm responses highlighted his ability to remain steady under fire, while Trump's interruptions and sharp remarks underscored his readiness to escalate conflict rather than de-escalate it. For viewers, the contrast was not just about the words spoken, but the energy and presence each man brought to the stage. Obama's composure made him appear presidential in the traditional sense, embodying qualities associated with diplomacy and thoughtful leadership. Trump's combative presence, meanwhile, resonated with those who value disruption, directness, and the sense that he refuses to be constrained by convention. This stark contrast also speaks to broader differences in their philosophies of leadership. Obama's style reflects a belief in persuasion, dialogue, and building consensus, even with opponents. He often frames his arguments in ways that appeal to shared values or common goals, seeking to bring people together despite differences. His calm demeanor reinforces the idea that leadership is about steadiness and the capacity to think beyond immediate conflict. Trump's style reflects a belief in dominance, showmanship, and the necessity of drawing clear lines between allies and adversaries. For him, leadership is about taking the fight directly to opponents and using forceful language to establish authority. These philosophies are not just personal choices, but are tied deeply to how each man envisions politics and governance. The live television moment magnified how these two styles play out when placed side by side. Obama's restraint served as a counterbalance to Trump's forcefulness, creating a dynamic where the audience could directly compare two visions of leadership. For some, Obama's composure came across as dignified and reassuring, while for others, Trump's aggression was refreshing and spoke to a desire for bold, unapologetic leadership. The power of this moment lay in the way it exposed the core differences between them, allowing millions of viewers to decide which style they believed represented true strength. Moreover, the contrast between Obama and Trump extends beyond politics and into symbolism. Obama's style has often been associated with stability, global diplomacy, and the projection of calm authority. It resonates with those who see leadership as a responsibility that requires grace under pressure. Trump's style, by contrast, symbolizes disruption, rebellion against the political establishment, and the prioritization of force over formality. His confrontational approach resonates with those who feel traditional politics has failed, and that only an aggressive leader can break through barriers. The live TV exchange encapsulated these symbolic differences, turning the moment into more than just a clash of words. It became a clash of worldviews. The importance of this contrast cannot be overstated. At its core, it represents two fundamentally different answers to the same question: what does leadership look like in the modern world? Obama's composure offers one answer, grounded in patience, logic, and a steady hand. Trump's confrontation offers another, grounded in disruption, dominance, and energy. For the public, watching these two approaches unfold simultaneously offered a rare chance to see leadership styles not just described in theory, but performed in real time before millions. This live display of contrasting methods gave audiences a way to measure their own preferences and reflect on what qualities they value most in a leader. The live television exchange between Barack Obama and Donald Trump quickly transformed into a viral moment that shaped the way people perceived both men and their political legacies. In the age of instant media coverage, where clips circulate within seconds and reactions are shared across platforms around the globe, what happens in a few minutes on stage can overshadow years of political work. This confrontation became one of those moments, replayed endlessly on news channels, dissected by commentators, and debated by millions of viewers on social media. The exchange was not just a fleeting clash, but an event that molded the public image of Obama and Trump in ways that continue to linger in the political consciousness. For Obama, the exchange reinforced the qualities that have defined his public persona since his rise to prominence. His ability to remain calm, composed, and eloquent in the face of hostility played directly into the narrative of him as a steady, intellectual leader who values reason over spectacle. His responses during the live event were measured and deliberate, showing that he could withstand direct challenges without losing his footing. For many viewers, this moment became another example of why Obama is often remembered as a statesman, someone who represents dignity and restraint even when confronted by political adversaries intent on provoking him. The viral nature of the exchange worked to his advantage, reminding his supporters, and even some skeptics, of his unique ability to command respect through calm presence rather than aggression. For Trump, the moment showcased the qualities that both energize his base and polarize his critics. His combative style, sharp remarks, and willingness to go after Obama directly played into his image as a disruptor who thrives on breaking norms and confronting established figures. Trump's performance during the exchange was not about subtlety or carefully chosen words, but about dominating the stage, seizing attention, and proving that he could stand toe-to-toe with someone as respected as Obama. To his supporters, the viral clips reaffirmed his authenticity and refusal to bow to traditional political etiquette. To his critics, however, the same clips reinforced the perception of him as brash, undisciplined, and more interested in spectacle than substance. The duality of these reactions is part of what made the moment so powerful. It deepened the divide between those who admire Trump's boldness and those who view his style as corrosive to political discourse. The viral spread of the exchange was not simply about the words spoken, but about the optics and body language on display. Cameras captured every smirk, pause, interruption, and reaction, allowing viewers to interpret the interaction in ways that went beyond policy. Obama's steady gaze and calm tone contrasted sharply with Trump's assertive gestures and interruptions, creating a visual metaphor for their opposing approaches to leadership. These images became memes, headlines, and talking points, ensuring that the moment would be remembered not only as a clash of arguments, but as a symbolic confrontation between two competing visions of political power. In the broader context of political legacies, this televised exchange added another layer to how both men are remembered. Obama's legacy has often been framed around his ability to inspire, unify, and project a sense of steadiness. The live event reinforced that legacy, offering his supporters new evidence of his grace under pressure. Trump's legacy, on the other hand, has been shaped by his defiance, his combative energy, and his ability to dominate the news cycle. The exchange fits seamlessly into that narrative as well, showing him once again as a figure unafraid of confrontation and willing to challenge even one of the most admired political figures in recent memory. The virality of the moment ensured that both legacies were amplified, giving audiences a crystallized example of why each man inspires such strong reactions. The role of media in shaping these perceptions cannot be overlooked. News outlets replayed the exchange on a loop, highlighting certain lines and framing the narrative in ways that aligned with their audiences. Social media accelerated the spread, with short clips edited into viral posts, soundbites turned into captions, and hashtags pushing the confrontation into global conversation. In this way, the live television exchange did not stay confined to the moment it occurred, but was reborn again and again in different contexts, each retelling reinforcing particular perceptions of Obama and Trump. The constant circulation meant that the exchange lingered in the public consciousness far longer than it might have in a pre-digital era, making it a defining political moment for both men. The public's response to the exchange also revealed how deeply divided perceptions of leadership have become. For Obama's supporters, the viral moment was proof of his superior intellect, composure, and moral clarity compared to Trump. For Trump's supporters, the same moment was proof of his strength, his refusal to be intimidated, and his commitment to speaking bluntly. What one side viewed as dignity, the other saw as weakness. What one side viewed as aggression, the other saw as courage. These opposing interpretations reflect not only differences in opinion about two individuals, but also broader cultural divisions about what kind of leadership is needed in America. This polarization added weight to the exchange, ensuring it would not fade quickly from memory. It became a reference point in discussions about both men's political futures and their impact on American society. For Obama, the moment served as a reminder of why he is still admired even after leaving office, with his composure contrasted against Trump's confrontational style. For Trump, it reinforced his reputation as someone who thrives in the spotlight and refuses to conform, which is exactly what his base expects from him. The live television clash, amplified by its viral spread, essentially distilled each man's political identity into a single event that millions could witness and interpret in real time. The power of this exchange lies in how it crystallized years of political narrative into a few minutes of live television. It did not create new perceptions of Obama and Trump so much as it magnified existing ones, projecting them onto the biggest possible stage and allowing audiences to draw their own conclusions. By going viral, the moment ensured that it would continue shaping how both men are remembered long after the cameras stopped rolling.